All right, a very, very good morning to you and welcome to Mbombela. We are in Mpumalanga in Nelspruit. This is our final election show on Morning Live, and what a journey it's been, crisscrossing across the entire country and covering all of the issues that are affecting the respected provinces, and this is the last one. And from what I've seen in this room, I've been told not a room, this auditorium, this is going to be a fiery one, because we've already started with this audience getting into one another's shoes and trying to already find their dominance. So one can tell that the political tensions here in Mpumalanga are on fire. And so here in this auditorium with us, we've got majority, I wouldn't even say majority, there are 28 political parties that are going to be contesting here in Mpumalanga. But believe me, those that we've got here can make some noise. You want to make some noise? Okay, all right. So there you have it. So we've got them here, but more importantly, this is for you, the viewer at home, to find out if you're still undecided. And there are so many South Africans at this point that are still undecided as to who they are going to cast their vote to in 7 days' time. I mean, 7 days' time, can you believe it? So here we are in Mpumalanga, and I'm going to start, as we always do, by giving each representative of the political party 2 minutes to tell us why we should vote for them. This is ANC territory, it really is. If you look back to 2014, when we last had the general elections, it was a massive showing for the ANC. But can they hold on to that? There's talk of smaller parties that are coming up that are strong, and they're going to take a bite at the ANC. Let's find out if they can hang on to their voters. So let's find out. First up, our representative from the ANC. We've got Fish with us this morning. Fish Makhalela. We give it to you for 2 minutes. I cut you off after 2 minutes. You may begin.
No, thanks very much, Liane, and let me take this opportunity to greet all the viewers and all loving South Africans. Let me begin with the obvious. The obvious is that the ANC, it's a people's movement with a historic mission to build a united and democratic South Africa, with an intention of making sure that we create a non-racial, non-sexist, and prosperous South Africa. The Freedom Charter remains our inspiration and our strategic guide to create a better life for all of South Africans. We are calling on all the people of South Africa to vote for us because, first and foremost, over the past 25 years, we have managed to change many lives of our people. The people of South Africa's dignity has been restored. We have been able to improve access to running water. More than 80% of the population of South Africa currently, including those in the rural areas, does have access to electricity. We're able to increase access to education, where we are currently sitting at 99% of our people having access to education. We remain committed to provide quality health care and quality education to our people, because education and health remains an epicenter for us and society as a whole. And therefore, we are convinced that if we improve our education by making sure that we provide quality education, improve the skilling, especially to young people, we'll be able to create opportunities for these young people to be absorbed by the economy so that they are able to be employable at the end of the day.
Okay, I have to leave you there. Thank you. That's the ANC. All right, the ANC promising us the education, the health, talking to us about what they've achieved. We're going to ask the audience in a short while if what you said is actually reflecting into their lives. That'll come up in a short while. But let's move on to the DA now. And we've got Jane Sitole from the DA. Please, your time starts now.
Thank you very much, and good morning to the viewers at home. As the Democratic Alliance, our offer is very simple. We want to build one South Africa for all. Our constitution provides that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, and we are truly building a one South Africa for all. We are a party that tackles corruption head on. Those that are found to be corrupt, will be jailed for a minimum of 15 years, not be promoted to other positions, as we have seen in our province. Mpumalanga is a very beautiful province. However, you would notice that its beauty and its potential has been killed and robbed by massive scale of corruption that took place for the last 25 years in Mpumalanga. Our tourism has declined. We are talking about jobs. The issue of jobs is not new. We must just know that it's been escalating, it's been going up. Even in the previous elections, jobs always come on top. If you look at our youth in Mpumalanga, they are in the streets, there are no opportunities for them. The projects that were promised never materialized. Projects like Fresh Produce Market, which took millions, in turn saying it's going to create jobs for young people, doesn't materialize. So if we don't have a plan to actually remove these young people off the streets, we're actually sitting on a time bomb. If you look at the issue of MEGA, which the DA has said for the past 10 years, dissolve MEGA so that you can start to channel that money to employment, which hasn't happened. Only in the last 3 weeks that the MEC only suspend those people. Suspending them, they're still earning salaries. So we are saying, if we don't move fast on creating jobs and actually make sure that people can put food on the table at the end of the day, we are actually not building a society. If we don't deal with corruption head on, we are not going to be able to move forward. We also talk about the honest and professional policing. I can use this stadium as an example. Massive scale of corruption took place here. We know that people died, but that case was bungled because documents go missing out of the police files. Now that is sad, and if we do not bring the police service to provincial level where we can hold them accountable, things like this will continue to happen. Lives get ruined and there is no consequences.
All right, Jane, I have to stop you there. Thank you very, very much. Vital issues brought up there from the DA. We'll talk to them, particularly with regard to unemployment. I mean, if we look at the unemployment figures, if we want to be looking at minimum unemployment, the narrow percentage is 32%. But if we want to look at the expanded unemployment rate here in Mpumalanga, it sits at 41% unemployment. That is frightening, and that's a big story that we need to cover here. Colin Sadiba is representing the EFF. Your 2 minutes begin now.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the EFF has already started to provide solutions to the problems facing the people of South Africa. Because as you know, the expropriation of land without compensation is being processed. Section 25 of the Constitution is being amended in Parliament as we speak. And that motion was raised by the EFF after its arrival in Parliament, wherein the ANC was there for 25 years. And they've done nothing about the land. And our team is very clear that we want land and jobs now, because without land, we are nothing, more especially as black people. And without jobs, there will be poverty. There will be no food for people and every day. So the EFF is providing a solution to ensure that the land is returned back to the black people so that they can use it for settlement and for agricultural purposes. And then we are going to provide jobs through establishing more special economic zones in all parts of Mpumalanga, including Mkondo here in Mpumalanga and Komazi, where there's a lot of poverty, and other parts like Bushbuck Ridge. And then we've already had some achievement. 5 years into Parliament, we advocated the issue of free education through Fields Must Fall activism. And we have, as we speak, we have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of students who have registered in the universities through the walk-ins, which we called as the EFF, that everyone must go and register, whether he does have the registration fee or not. And many students have registered and are studying. And then, yes, there is free and decolonized education today, though it is not complete because the current ruling party is not monitoring and implementing it the correct way. Parents at the school are made to pay development funds, and then that becomes the payment of the school. But we are going to make sure that our 7 non-negotiable pillars are implemented, like the nationalization of mine and other strategic minerals of
Colin,
the
I'll leave
country.
it there. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sure you'll get another turn. All right, so that was the EFF talking. Let's move on now to the ACDP, and we've got Jeff Anderson from the ACDP. Let's start your 2 minutes.
Good morning. Testing. Hello. Good morning, family. Can you guys hear me? Yes. The ACDP is a party that can provide something that nobody else here can provide, and that is trusted, true, godly leadership. The ACDP has been around since 1993. Our leader, Reverend Kenneth Meshwe, has been in Parliament since 1994. He stood the test of time. He's trusted, he's ethical, and he has stood the test of time. Not one scandal, which is much more than any of these other parties sitting next to me can say. We provide something for South Africa as well, which is true unity, restoration. Our party is not about colors, black, white, colored, Indian. It is a party for everybody. And we have identified 7 giants in South Africa that have got us on a downward spiral into despair. But through your vote and the turnaround that we will bring, we will slay those giants. The first one being unemployment. There's a high unemployment rate, and all these 7 giants are intertwined. Secondly, because of the poor economy. Our economy is up to rubbish, so you're not going to have the jobs created. We then have crime rate going through the roof because of no jobs. People are now resorting to steal and crime to have means of living in that. Corruption again is rife in every area. All our state-owned enterprises are basically bankrupt. Taxpayers are having to fork out billions to revive these entities. And all these monies that are out there, your tax money is supposed to be channeled in the right directions for service delivery. It's not happening purely because of corruption. Again, because of that corruption, it affects the 5th pillar, which is health. Health services are pathetic. People are sitting in queues for 5-6 hours just to get a panado. Sometimes they get to the front of the queue and get told, no, go to the government hospital and sit in another queue for 6-7 hours. Due to corruption. The funds are available, but they're not getting channeled.
All right, Jeff, unfortunately, got to leave it there. But thank you very, very much. That was Jeff Anderson. Okay, with us now, we've got Dr. Sihle Sibia. He is from the Economic Emancipation Forum. So this is now the EEF, not EFF, EEF.
Greeting to the viewers at home. In front of you is Dr. Sihle Sibia, representing Economic Emancipation Forum. Just a point of correction, we don't call ourselves EEF, we call ourselves Eco Forum. So Eco Forum is a kingdom-driven political party that exists to champion 2 critical things: ethical leadership and proactive governance, and also inclusive economy. We believe in a South Africa where people are treated and are recognized by their capabilities, which is very important, especially if we are building an economy where we find ourselves as South Africa, where everything is growing now and then. And the second component, obviously, we want to see a very inclusive economy where everyone participates, where we are saying there is a need in South Africa to reprioritize critical elements in our economy. We talk about energy, we talk about agriculture, we talk about technology. We are talking about 4th industrial revolution now, and South Africa is not ready to participate in that. We are very behind. So it's very critical for this country to start to see that opportunity and to ensure that we maximize in getting into that. We believe that traditional leaders and churches in our community, they've got a critical role to play in this economy, where we have got the moral issues that affects us, because we cannot then find ourselves in a situation where we're able to address the critical components of how we handle ourselves in the working environment, etc. So that has got a lot to play in our economy. But we propose an economy that is driven by 3 strategic pillars, which is economy, and also we talk about education, and we talk about social. when we talk about economy, we talk about an economy that is inclusive, but also an economy and that drives the education system, because our education system produces a lot of graduates that cannot access job opportunities because that is not aligned. So basically, that's what we are talking about.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. That's the Eco Forum talking to us here on this election broadcast for the SABC. If you've just tuned in, this is our final election broadcast before the elections next week. So this is an important one. If you're still undecided, listen closely, because your answer may lie in today's broadcast as to who you are going to put your mark next to come the 8th of May. All right, so next up, we heard from 5 political parties so far. We've now got the Forum for Service Delivery, and they're being represented by Peter Makubela. Let us begin.
Thank you, and greetings to all the viewers. As Forum for Service Delivery, actually, I think even the name itself, anyone who hears about this name, he knows that we are talking for service delivery, actually. That's why even in our manifesto, we've got a first bulletin that's talking about the free, quality, and dynamic education. Why are we saying this? It's because when we've realized that it's happening even in prison. How come even prisoners, the people who killed, who raped, who stolen from us, receive those free education, free uniform, free food, free accommodation inside? But what about our future generation outside here? Because now they are not receiving anything for free. Then we are looking forward to build a better South Africa by investing on the future generation. So then we are actually again calling on the free transportation to our future generation, which is our students, so that they can go to school freely. If anything free can be given to prisoners, which means it is possible also to be given to our future generation. So again, we are looking forward to eradicate the issue of protest. If you can have a look at South Africa now, it's like a country that everyone is laughing at, because every day we are experiencing protests. Why is it those protests? It's because people are protesting because they need service delivery. So as a Forum for Service Delivery, we want to practice that, because a lot of parties, even the ruling party, they are always talking of service delivery, but they are not practicing that one. So as Forum for Service Delivery, we want to make sure that people of South Africa, they get those service delivery. Like again, we are going to make sure that we eradicate the issue of the tenders. Because now, if I can give you the example, I can make an example of the hospital maybe. They can give someone a tender to supply maybe some food. That person is going to order just a loaf of bread with the amount of less than 10 rand from the baker and invoice over 70 rand for that loaf of bread. So that when they go outside then they are going to demand 10% of that man, which is that money that must go straight to the people for service delivery.
We have to leave it there. Thank you very much. All right, so now from the African Covenant, we've got Dr. Convoy Beloy. Okay, Convey Beloy. Over to you. Your 2 minutes begin now.
Thank you so much. Look, Liana, I think we must be honest as South Africans and stop playing games. There are people in this nation who are dying on a daily basis. These stories of behaving as if we are not South Africans because we are in politics, I think must come to an end. We must be very serious about this nation. While you play games, there are people who are being dispossessed from their own natural homes and also being from their citizenship as this nation. So as African Covenant, we're not coming to do normal politics. We're coming to do politics unusual. We have mobilized the nation from the Cape to Limpopo, from Mpumalanga to Northern Cape, to come on board and answer a question. What is it that we can do selflessly to serve one another and put money aside? Because money has become part of politics in this country, where people are looking at money first instead of looking at an individual and see how to serve. So we are bringing a vision, because a nation can't be built on a dream. You build it on vision. So what is that vision? We want to bring Russia's government on the surface of South Africa and make sure that we build South Africa on 4 pillars, which is unity, respect, order, and prosperity. And make sure, in conclusion, that the officials who are part of this government have got values that drives their performance. That is the value of truth, the value of love, and the value of selflessness. So let me give 2 examples of what will happen under an African covenant-led government.
Very quickly, got 30 seconds.
Yes, 20 seconds. The borders shall be organized. No illegal entrance and illegal exit will happen. Number 2, education will not be the way it is now because it is producing graduates and then we look at them as and call it success while they are not employed. Number 3, the elderly cannot continue to pay tax even in their retirement stage. Number last, we as South Africans cannot be subjected to the tax regime that has got 14 categories that in 30 days of your salary you must have a take home, and that take home is subjected to 14 forms of taxes, and you call yourself successful because you've got a job. That cannot continue under an African covenant-led government.
Thank you. Thank you. Right, that's the African Covenant. Okay, we're getting there fast and furiously. Now, interesting day for the BLF and the Freedom Front Plus yesterday. In fact, we had it here on Morning Live in the earlier hour. We had a conversation with the BLF and the Freedom Front Plus. So the court basically ruling that the BLF are able to contest the elections, and a political party was in the High Court and basically saying that the merits of the case were not argued. So, BLF, you're going to be there, but what are you going to do for South Africans?
Thank you, Leon, and greetings to our viewers at home. Our mission as Black First, Land First, 1, is that we are not apologetic, that we are a blacks-only movement, because our problem began when these white land thieves arrived in our country in 1652. That is why the Freedom Front Plus and their zombies wanted to block BLF from contesting the elections, because we know they're talking of corruption that started in 1994. It is only Black First Land First that exposed the apartheid era corruption, 560 billion that was stolen by Peter Groenewald and his white zombies, that was taken out of the country to offshore accounts. Now, theirs is to try to make black people fight amongst themselves. Hence, we are saying, we are calling to all political parties, those that are claiming to be for black people, we are saying to you, come together, be black first, then we go take our land from these thieves. Lastly, what is said, what we are hearing, they are saying service delivery and all those things. Such things are being perpetuated by these criminals so that they can portray black people as incompetent, 1, as corrupt, forgetting that de Klerk killed 5,000 people in 3 years, and that has been hidden. It is forgotten that it's these very same white people that are killing our people, mistaking them for pigs and monkeys. It is these very same white thieves that are burying our people alive. So we black people must come together now, stop shouting amongst ourselves, let's hit them harder. They are saying, ons handele harder slaan. Thank you.
Okay. That's Elias Mokoena from the BLF. Thank you very much for your views here. I'm sure we're going to debate them quite... If I want to vote for you, Elias, if I want to vote for the BLF, am I allowed to vote for you? I'm white. Remember,
we do not hate white people.
Oh, good.
We just don't want them in Black First, Land First movement.
Okay.
You can do that. Thank you.
But I'm allowed to vote for you.
You can do that.
You don't want me, but I can vote for you.
You can vote for us.
Okay. That's not inviting. That's not inviting. Okay. Let's talk to our next panelist here. And we've got Mokoena Letago from the Better Residents Association. All right, let's go, Mokoena. Your time starts now.
Good morning, Leanne, and greetings to everyone. As Better Residents Association, we are not standing here as a political party, but we are standing here as an association fighting for people in the villages. Because we now have a system where during elections, we see leaders coming to the villages, asking our people to vote for them because they know that there's a lot of people in the villages who are voting. But when it comes to service delivery, they never come back to deliver the service. They only go to the cities, squander our funds that are supposed to be assisting in the villages. So now we're saying that people should vote in the villages and vote for the political party that's going to assist them, because we've seen a system where our leaders, like in the ANC, are now, sorry.
Carry on, don't
Our
listen to them.
in the ANC are now,
Come on, guys, come on. Please let her
are now
finish. Please let her
oppressing our people to vote for the ANC, even though the people are not receiving service delivery. We have a situation where in Bushbuckridge we don't have water, we don't have roads, we don't have the pick-it-up system that's in Joburg. We don't have sewages for our toilets. So now we're saying that as BRA, vote for people who will be assisting you. We are the only party where the president is in the villages. Our president is not on the list that's going to national or province. He wants to be there to serve the people, to see the struggle that the people are going through. So now we're saying vote for BRA, vote to fight for service delivery in the villages, and know that your vote is important. Vote for BRA to assist our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers who are in the villages, who are now still going to the streams to get water, to get service delivery. People have to go to protest. They burn tires so that the ANC can recognize that our people are struggling in the villages. Our people need you to vote for BRA in order for us to assist in the villages.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that's that opinion and the Mokoena, that was Mokoena from Better Residents Association. Now we've got the PAC, and joining us from the PAC is Lukoleni Walter, PAC. It's over to you.
Thank you, Leon, and greetings to the people in the ghettos, in the villages, and the nooks and crannies of this country. The PAC is an organization that was formed in April, 60 years ago, to exactly fight against land theft, which started in 1652. We are an organization that is anchored in the understanding that this land belongs to the African people. It does not belong to all who live in it. Those who come here must subscribe to African values and norms. The PAC is pledging to the masses of this country, and specifically to Mpumalanga, a 14-point pledge, which is anchored firstly on the return of the land, the employment of the youth and the women, and the eradication of crime, and also, more importantly, the creation of jobs for the youth immediately on taking over within the national service, because we believe the youth must get the experience there. But we also pledge to ensure that those who hold dual citizenships are going to be called upon to decide. Either you stay in Tanzania or you go to Britain or wherever your other citizenship is, because we believe that you should be committed to this country and not committed and not have a second option, because as African people we don't have a second option. But on education also, we are offering free education, but we address specifically the workers. We are saying we as the PAC will legislate that all companies that operate in this country give workers 40% shares, those who are employed. And those who are not employed, obviously, will be employed in the national service. But we also say this land being our land, the chiefs and kings are the custodians of the land. It should be returned to them, and they would decide how it is controlled. Because in 1652, when people landed here, by mistake, apparently, and discovered us here. The kings and chiefs were
I have to ask you to wrap. I have to ask you to wrap. All right, thank you very much. That's the PAC here on the program. So, now the UDM. We've got the UDM represented by James Dlamini. James, please begin.
Morning.
No, carry on. Please speak into the mic. Into the mic.
Okay. Ngizohlekisa bonke labantu because sisuka ngabo magudu. Sifuna uba basive abantu bakuthi ba sithini basivotela for ini. Le organization iqale 1997 ngupresident Bantu Bonke Olomisa uNjengele. Si UDM sibathembisa ina abantu bakuthi. Sithi si UDM sibathembisa impumelelo, prosperity and dignity. Impumelelo awunawuhlala uyindvodza ungasebenzi. Jobe ihulumende osiphetheyo okhokhelwa iANC so una 25 years ulawula. Kodwa abantu bakuthi abasebenzi. Ulutsha lakuthi youth ayisebenzi. Sithi si UDM uma sithatha leMpumalanga. Youth yethu mayithola umsebenzi. Uze ube nempumelelo ukufumana kwakho umsebenzi. Ezikolweni abantwana bethu mabafumane i-free education. Ne-transport. I-catering esikolweni. I-crime yenyuke ngamandla. But into eyenzekayo uhulumende wethu olawulayo iNC akakwazi ukucontrol i-crime. Thina si UDM sithi zoyiphelisa i-crime. Yeah.
Okay.
Siphelisa kanjani?
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. We have to leave it there.
I-corruption.
Okay.
I-corruption. I-UDM ayizange yaba nayo i-corruption.
All right.
Kodwa uma ubheka umbutho okhoyo mihla yonke i-corruption kubo. Abanakwazi kulawula lelizwe.
Okay, James.
Sinikeni chance si UDM singene silawule apha eMpumalanga.
Thank you. James, thank you very much. All right, James, talking to the fact of jobs are very scarce in Mpumalanga and in South Africa. Unemployment at record levels. The youth are the most affected. Also talking to the ANC, not doing much in 25 years, and they need change now in this country. We need free education. That's what they're promising for school children. They will give them free transport. They will give them free food. They want to root out corruption. And they're also talking to the crime. The ANC do not know how to fight crime. That's pretty much so where we were going with the UDM. So let's, we've got two more parties to get through now. We've got Vanna Weber from the Freedom Front Plus, and of course a lot was said a bit earlier by the BLF about you. Not that you need to retaliate, because at the end of the day, that's not what people are thinking. People want to know what you are going to do for them on the 8th of May. Let's go. Please begin.
Good morning. This election is about land. And we have been accused, as you heard, of having stolen this land. Let's discuss land and establish whether we have stolen the land. The Bushmen that were camping in front of the Union buildings, they say they are the first nation in South Africa, and you have stolen their land. Let's discuss Mpumalanga now. We've heard that this country was governed by the kings. So in 1846, when Andries Hendrik Potgieter came to the Leidenburg area, the area was empty because of the wars between the Swazis and the Pedis. He went directly to the king, King Swati, and for the exchange of 100 cattle, he obtained permanent land use rights in that area. That was formalized by a contract. Here's the contract. Here's the treaty. Thereafter, in 1855, the Voortrekkers went to King Swati once again, and they obtained the land up until the Pongola River for the exchange of 70 cattle. Here is the contract. Here's the contract. Here's the contract. Now, if you ask now, who is the rightful owner of this country? Who is the rightful owner of this country? The rightful owner of this country can only be the Swazi king who gave the land to the Voortrekkers, all those who have received it. It can never be the ANC. They were not part of the deal. They were not part of the contract. So you must keep quiet now. I have.
Okay, guys, one second.
To the Swazi king. I have been to the Swazi king in his palace. He wrote in his palace, there was a press release drafted in his palace where he specifically said that the land in Mpumalanga was not stolen by the farmers. Was not stolen by the farmers. They must remain there. And if there's any land that was taken from King Swati in an irregular way, it must be returned not to the ANC, but to King Swati, who gave it to us.
Okay. All right. All right, there we go. All right, we got the evidence. Freedom Front Plus, thank you very, very much. Okay.
This document is still in the archives of Swati.
All right, guys, we can talk about this. You can take this on the sidelines just now. Let's get through our last political party. We still got one more political party. We'll open up the floor in a couple of minutes. If you want to debate, we can do that just now. But right now, we're still giving the voices. Unfortunately, we didn't hear from the Freedom Front Plus why we should vote for them, but we did give them time for their land discussion. But let's now give the final word to the residents of SA Association. Sipho Zita, it is now your turn. Let's get a mic to Sipho there. All right, Sipho, your 2 minutes start now.
Good morning, fellow South Africans. I represent Riawosa, Residents Association of South Africa. The three issues that I want to bring to the fore are as follows. Number one, we strongly hold the view that it is in the best interest of South Africans to vote into parliament as many as possible political parties. It is only in the best interest of South Africans. We, as Riawosa, are one of those political parties that have identified very serious gaps in the current local government. We are of the view, strongly so, that as much as the ANC movement has contributed so much in ensuring that we get our democracy, we acknowledge that we are the products of that movement. However, I want to point out that we are all aware that things are not going okay in the movement. Now, what we need to do as the residents of South Africa is to ensure that parties like Riawosa are given a space to represent you, to look into the health system. I'm going to zoom into the local hospital, Temba Hospital. In Temba Hospital, you can wait as much as 8 hours to receive medical attention. When you look into our education system, we are producing more graduates that are not speaking into the economy of the country. So we are saying as Riawosa, vote us in so that we can engage into reviewing the current education system, so that we can align. We need to align the education into what the South African economy needs.
All right.
For example,
Sipho?
in Mpumalanga...
No examples.
Thank
Sipho,
you
we have
very
to
much.
leave it there. We have to leave it there. Thank you. You have heard all of the political parties lay their cards on the table, and I know that this audience have got a lot of questions. So we're going to take a break here on the program. We'll bring you up to speed with the latest news from Johannesburg. Then we come back here and we're firing questions at this panel one by one. You do not want to leave this program. Stay where you are.